Welcome back to the Irresistible You podcast. I have to tell you, this episode almost didn't happen today. I'm almost wondering why I'm even recording this in the first place because, first of all, it's been a while since I recorded. I've been taking some downtime in the summer, just trying to get out here, enjoy life, enjoy the kids being home. And I had to get a new microphone because mine broke. And as you can see, if you're watching, I'm still on my headset because when I went to put in my new microphone, it didn't come with the right connection cables. So now that's on my to-do list. My office is a mess right now. I've got all kinds of things going on with some new tech that I'm having to install for other projects. And as I'm prepping to get in the groove of recording, which if you haven't recorded in a while, it just feels clunky. I feel clunky right now. I feel out of practice cuz I am. And my husband calls and says, "You got to come to school." I'm thinking, "Oh my God, the kids." He's like, "Nope, the car won't start." So his truck won't start. I grab the jumper cables, go up to school, help him do that. And by help, I mean sit in the car and watch him do it. And it completely threw off the flow and put everything off that I was working on today and was really annoying. But it also made me realize that this is a perfect example of what this episode was about in the first place. It really boils down to showing up imperfectly, but showing up consistently. And as it relates to weight loss and as it relates to self improvement and just our overall life, right? As you all know, and if you don't know, now you know. But I got into diamond painting about a year ago when Chewy passed away. And I was thinking about something recently, how diamond painting is this metaphor for what we're doing in life and especially with weight loss. When you get this canvas to work on, and I'm going to just, since I have one here, I'm going to just show it on the screen. This is the one I'm working on right now as a visual. But as you get one of these canvases, there are thousands, tens of thousands of diamonds that you've got to lay down on the canvas. And when you first start out, it seems daunting because there's a lot to do. And just putting down that one little drill, that one little diamond, it doesn't feel like you're doing a lot because you see how far you still have to go. And I was thinking about that with weight loss, how 1 pound doesn't seem like a lot. But when you look back and it's been 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 70 pounds, you're like, damn, okay. Or sometimes every day you're putting in the work and it doesn't feel impressive. It doesn't feel rewarding. It doesn't feel like it's even putting a dent in your weight loss journey. I think about diamond painting because you've got this canvas that seems overwhelming. It seems like you're never going to get it done, and you're literally putting it down one tiny little diamond at a time. But when you take a step back and you look at how far you've come and how much you've done, you realize the picture is coming together. And I was like, that is weight loss. Weight loss is diamond painting. Life is like diamond painting. And you only see your progress. You only see the beauty in all the little things that you're doing until it all starts to come together and you take that big picture look. And I think life is the same way, is that we're always judging ourselves and telling ourselves that one time won't hurt. Or one workout, if I do one workout today, it's not going to matter. If I only get in 5 minutes of a walk today, it's not going to count. If I overeat for dinner, it's going to ruin everything. One, conversation isn't going to make a difference. And the truth is that no, you're right. One workout isn't going to matter. One meal prep isn't going to matter. One good decision isn't going to matter. But what's going to matter over time, it's like a snowball effect, is that the culmination of all of those decisions, that's what's going to make a difference. That's what's going to matter. And it's going to build over time because none of those things individually are going to change your life or move the needle. Working out one time, eating healthy for a day, none of those things are going to change your life. Making decisions to get outdoors and, feed your soul and fill up your cup, that's not going to make a difference on one day. But if you stay consistent, and you do it every day and you do it over and over. And by doing it consistently, it doesn't mean the same thing as doing it perfectly, which is where I think people get it twisted. That's where you see the difference. And you see that, think of that canvas, right? This beautiful canvas is your life. And you finally see it coming together. And you see that it still has pieces that aren't finished. It still has pieces that you did finish, but they're not perfect. That is our life. Our life is like a diamond painting. And, you know, I'm going to tie it back into today where it's like, I didn't feel like recording. My day got interrupted. I could have just gone ahead and skipped this episode because this is only one tiny diamond in the whole, canvas of this. But maybe this one little diamond that I was going to skip today is the right message that someone else needed to hear to power themselves through what they're going through, to give themselves that little dose of empowerment to move the needle, to get up and do something, to make a change. Maybe that's what somebody needed. Because sometimes I think, oh, like especially lately, you guys, like social media is brutal. It is so hard to stay relevant. It is so hard to just keep up. Like, I can come on here weekly, record my podcast. I push my podcast out. It gets published to all the podcast apps, which is great. But if you're not constantly marketing those episodes on social media, which I don't do a good job of, it's like you're irrelevant. And then when you put the time and effort to market these things on social media and it gets 100 views or I had something on TikTok the other night, it got 20 views. That is definitely out of the norm for me. So it's like, you're just constantly creating, and sometimes it doesn't feel like it's worth it. But if it's going to reach that one person, if it's going to reach you and it's going to help you, then it makes it worth it, right? It belongs here and it needs to be said. So, you know, you're not always going to feel like it. You're not always going to want to, and you don't need to feel like it in order to do it. You're not going to feel like working out. I don't care what you feel like. If you don't feel like working out, so what? Your future self is going to want you to make that decision. It's going to want you to put that one tiny diamond down on the canvas so that when you look back in 6 months, this canvas is coming together and it's the plan that you had for yourself, right? And building an irresistible life is not this one massive epiphany. It's not this one massive transformation one day. It is literally thousands and thousands of decisions, of tiny moments, of choosing this or that. It's choosing yourself over and over and over again, especially when you tell yourself you don't feel like it. It is choosing to do it regardless of how you feel. And it's refusing to wait until you've lost the weight to feel better. It's refusing to wait for your life to get easier, life to slow down. Let me get my schedule right. Let me feel confident enough. Confidence is not an arrival. It is not a destination. It is something you have to continuously build day in and day out. And it is just like a muscle because when you stop working on it, it's like you got to start over again. It is something you build. And so our life is like a diamond painting. We are building it one diamond at a time. That one diamond may not feel like it makes a difference. It may not feel like it's worth it. It may not feel like, why am I doing? You're just going to feel like, why am I doing this? It doesn't matter. It's not going to put a dent in where I want to be. It's not getting me any closer to my goals. But the reality of that is that it won't. But when you add up all the decisions, all the moments, and you look back, you've become a different person. That is what transformation is about. That is how you build transformation. So I want you to ask yourself, as we go along with this metaphor, what is one diamond that you could place down today? Not 10, not 50, just one, because that one becomes another and another. And it's kind of like when you diamond paint, and for my diamond painters, you know this, you can't stop. You can't stop at just one. You sit down at 10 o'clock at night and you're like, I'm going to just do this one little section. Girl, next thing you know, it's 1 a.m. and you keep going and keep going. And when I think about life, it's like when you make those good decisions, it makes you want to do it more and more and more. It's just like when you make a bad decision, it breeds more bad decisions. So ask yourself, what's that one diamond that you can place today? And what does that look like? And it doesn't have to be this big, crazy thing. It's just like one little decision. And it's going to build that momentum so you keep making good choices. You keep making those good decisions so that you turn the life into the one that you're thinking, dreaming of. You turn your life into the one that you know you're meant to have. And also, you're not judging the process. You have to trust the process, right? Sometimes I look at these canvases and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is it actually going to look good when it's done? Because sometimes they don't look the same once you put the diamonds on, but you have to trust the process. And in trusting the process, you have to trust yourself. So, as we wrap up today, I think the message here is that we continue to judge our lives when we're zoomed in. We are zoomed in at like 10x. We've got everything completely zoomed in, and we're sitting there judging ourselves and judging what we're doing, and we can't see the picture because we're only looking at that one tiny little diamond, that one tiny little piece of our life. But you've got to take a step back. You've got to zoom out. You've got to take a step back, get that like eagle eye perspective, and you realize you've been creating something beautiful all along. Sometimes I get really hard on myself. I'm not where I want to be with my weight loss yet. I'm not where I want to be, sometimes success wise, career wise, things like that. And then I go on Google Photos for whatever, looking for something, and I'm scrolling years and years and years of memories and photos. And I'm like, this is my life? That's a pretty damn good life. And it's like, that's because some days you just get down on yourself. It's normal, it's human. But when you look back at the bigger picture, you are creating something irresistible. You're creating something that you wanted all along. And so that's the message today. Think of your life as a diamond painting. Every little diamond is one decision. And when you put all those decisions together and you put all those things into perspective, you are creating something beautiful, creating something irresistible, and creating what you want for your life. And if you're not doing that yet, then you've got to start doing that. You have to start. And if you're not sure where to start, head over to irresistibleicing.com/course. You can get my private VIP podcast and course. And I hope that this resonated. I hope this was worth it. And I'm glad I got on here. I feel my anxiety easing as I'm talking, as it always does when I podcast for some reason, because it's my happy place. I love it here. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to catch you in the next episode. Until then, stay irresistible. Bye, guys.